12 p.m. So basically, we're in an area where it's primarily Spanish speaking, and we felt everybody that is in the center that plays a role in the center is one, Latino. We're all bilingual. We speak Spanish and English. Two, we're all reverts to Islam. So we have all converted into the deen, into this beautiful religion. So we have experienced firsthand what it is to be on both ends, both as a non-Muslim and now as Muslims. And because of this, we feel that there is a need for this center. And so it's taken about 14 years since the organization actually opened for this to actually come to life. I personally became Muslim after 9/11 in New York. I recently moved to Houston, Texas. And so, I'm Mexican, and I never thought I would see a center of this nature in my time. So for me, it's very overwhelming. I'm ecstatic. I'm really grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be part of this, for the simple fact that I never thought I would be able to listen, to hear a khutbah in Spanish, in my mother language, and moreover, to be able to, cater and help and educate my fellow Latino brothers and sisters in humanity.
جزاكم الله خيرا. Dr. Jesus Marti, if you would please translate.
Certainly, my pleasure. Nos dice la hermana Najiba Morales de que esta es una organización, ellos dirigen una organización sin fines de lucros que está destinada a servir a los latinos. Están ellos abriendo un centro que contiene una mezquita, tienen un museo y tienen otras facilidades. ¿Cuáles son las otras facilidades adicionales, hermana?
So tenemos una mezquita, un museo, un showroom de información donde vamos a exhibir los diferentes títulos de CDs informativos para la comunidad de habla hispana.
Excelente.
También tendremos un estudio donde vamos a poder tener shows de televisión, donde la gente puede llamar
Van a producir los shows allí.
para que nosotros les podamos contestar en español sus preguntas y clarificar mis conceptos sobre el Islam.
Excelente. También nos dice la hermana Najiba de que ella se convirtió al Islam en el 2001 después del incidente del 9/11. Ella nunca pensó que iba a haber unas facilidades que comprendieran todas estas, un complejo que tuviese todas las facilidades que ella nos hizo alusión anteriormente, y que la verdad es bien halagador escuchar el khutbah, o sea, escuchar la predicación en el idioma español. ¿Cuál es la dirección de las facilidades, hermana? What's the address, please?
The address is 6200 Highway South, 6 South, Houston, Texas.
Highway 6 South in Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Brother Rashid, did you say Haram?
No, continue, please. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Yeah, do you have...
so I want to tell you a little bit about our mission here at Islam in Spanish. Our mission is to inspire, is to lead and pioneer solutions in educating Latinos and other communities about Islam in the Spanish language through media production and grassroots outreach worldwide. So we're here not only to educate, but we also want to lead and inspire our fellow citizens. And alhamdulillah, we're able to do that through our media production and our outreach programs. And what we basically do is we have dawah tables, informational tables, in key locations, such as in Dallas, on a weekly basis, we set up a table outside the Art Museum in Dallas. And so people have become very relevant to seeing this table. So when they do have questions or things spark up in the media, they have somewhere to go to actually get these misconceptions and questions answered. So that's our mission. Now, our vision is to see lives transform into productive global citizens collaborating for the common good of humanity. I think one of the key factors or one key thing that we need to emphasize is that we are all brothers and sisters in humanity, and therefore we feel the need to spread or to educate and convey this beautiful message of Islam.
Well said. Jazakumullahu khairan. Dr. Jesus Marti, if you would please translate.
My pleasure, Jazakumullahu khairan. Nos dice ella que la misión de la organización de Islam in Spanish, Islam en español, es ser líderes, inspirar y ser pioneros en términos de las soluciones referentes al Islam en español y utilizando nuestras raíces comunes para llegar al público latino. En Dallas, ellos semanalmente colocan al frente, una mesa al frente de donde se encuentra el museo, y entonces las personas ya están habituados a encontrar esta mesa semanalmente allí, y ellos cada vez que tienen algún tipo de pregunta, alguna confusión en cuanto a los conceptos que tienen que ver con el Islam, pues se paran por allí para entonces poder conseguir literatura y para poder conseguir respuestas para sus preguntas. Ellos dicen también que están colaborando para un bien común de toda la humanidad, porque todos somos hermanos y hermanas indistintamente de la religión que profesemos en la humanidad. Un abrazo cordial para todos los hermanos de otras fes religiosas. Brother Rashid,
Brother Yusuf, do you have any questions?
Alhamdulillah. No questions right now. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
You were a revert yourself, so can you just tell us a little bit before we go to our guests of honor? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you came to find out Islam? And
Alhamdulillah. My reversion, I guess you could say, to Islam did not really involve a dawah from an organization as much as it did dawah from my family. Alhamdulillah, my sister-in-law married a Palestinian, and because she accepted Islam as well, she started to look into the books, and when she did that, she started to teach her husband, which also started to practice afterwards more thoroughly in the way the Prophet ﷺ practiced. And then through her looking, also her sibling, actually two of her siblings, her sister and her brother, the sister, which is my wife, she accepted Islam, and then I wanted to know exactly what is going on here. I need to figure out what this religion is. Why is it in my household now? So I started looking into what is Islam. So alhamdulillah, it was a chain reaction from one of my family members.
Certainly, my pleasure. Nos dice el hermano that
I think the
microphone is
not really
like
working very well.
the volume on that microphone, I think it's totally off.
Khair, inshallah.
Okay. Nos dice el hermano Yusuf Tarantino de que él es él abrazó el Islam. Él dice que su abrazo, su conversión al Islam tiene que ver un tipo de dawa, pero no es un dawa de una organización, sino que esto ocurre dentro de su propia familia. Que su cuñada se casó, contrajo nupcias con una persona de nacionalidad palestina, y comenzó a practicar el Islam, y ella comenzó a practicar el Islam, y ella entonces luego convirtió a su hermana, que resulta ser la esposa del hermano Yusuf, y al cuñado del hermano Yusuf, y entonces todos luego se convirtieron al Islam. Fue como una reacción en cadena, nos describe él. Brother Rashid,
go ahead, sister, continue. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Yes, so I would like to invite everyone who is in the Texas state. We are going to be here during the grand opening for the entire weekend, and this center will provide also the following. And this is some of the services that we will be providing on a weekly basis. We have Sunday class, which is open to Muslims and non-Muslims. And this class is basic, and it's basically on the monotheistic teachings of Islam. And so this is a very important class that we have because it's open door policy. A lot of people have come here, and throughout, weeks and months after they understand, a lot of people actually have accepted Islam in this class. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, we had a couple accept Islam. They took their Shahada after coming to the class for about 4 months. So they accepted Islam as a family. And so on the day of the actual grand opening, we're going to have the grand opening that will consist, obviously, of opening remarks and the recitation of the Quran, which will be given in all 3 languages. Arabic,
can you
Spanish,
say the
and
date
English.
of that grand opening, please?
I'm sorry?
The date when it will be, the grand opening, please.
The grand opening will be Saturday, January 30th of this year, so in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of
Again,
weeks.
it's Saturday, January 30th at 12 o'clock here in Houston. The address is 6200 Highway 6 South, Houston, Texas. And so we are behind a Chase Bank, and that's your landmark.
And also, can you state a phone number that people can call to inquire about the whereabouts or hotels, or how they can purchase ticket and things like that, so they can go to that center for those that are living in the Dallas area, in the Texas area?
Yes, so you can email us. Go to our website, www.Islam in Spanish, and it's one word, islaminspanish.org. Or you can email me directly at nahela@islaminspanish.org, and my email is nahela@islaminspanish.org. We will be here all day after the grand opening. We have a whole set of programs where leaders of the community and politicians will come and speak, and we will be doing the cutting of the ribbon, inshallah, that day. We will also have reminders throughout the day of the Salat. So we also plan to have a community open forum towards the evening where anybody can come here that has questions or would like to clear up a few misconceptions or what have you. They will be able to do that day as well. That will be open to the public, to everybody that wants to come and voice themselves, Muslims who are new in the area that want to get to know other people. So inshallah, that's an open invitation for everybody. We look forward for everybody to come and support us and join us. If you would like to support us, if you could visit our website, it's www.islaminspanish.org, and there's a link there for donations. We are a nonprofit, 501 registered. So, inshallah, I hope everybody is able to join us and is able to be part of this historic grand opening. There's nothing like this in the entire country. This is the first one, and we pray, we hope that this is the beginning of something bigger. And inshallah, the goal is that we can mimic something of this nature in various cities, because from statistics, there are about 200,000 Spanish-speaking revered or born Muslims in the nation. And that's just the rough statistics. Here in Houston area alone, not talking about Dallas, but they're estimated about 1,000 Spanish-speaking Latino Muslims.
That's excellent, and that's very. I commend you for your organization and for your job. I did visit the website, and it's tremendously a lot of information, and there is videos, and the people can watch, and very high-end production, very professional, and very good material out there for everyone. And there's also not only for the Spanish speaking and also for the English speaking. There is English and Spanish as well. So that's I recommend it highly. I recommend Islam in Spanish, that the people will visit it and will support it, and especially at this essential time where they are in the establishing, and going to the next level. May Allah, accept this effort. May Allah, sustain it, and may Allah protect it from any wrongdoings. Dr. Jesus, if you would like to translate, and we can go on about our our show. For those who would like to call us, we can be reached live at 407-343-6001. We apologize. We were going to have another line open, an outside line open, since we have issues with the line in here in the studio. We can only accept 2 lifeline, but that didn't work due to the some technical difficulties, which we will fix next week, inshallah. So continue. Jazakumullahu khairan, brother.
Jesús, nos dice también la querida invitada, que es la hermana Nahila Morales, que ella quiere invitar a todo el público que se encuentre en el área de Texas y aquellos que no estén en el área de Texas, que quieran visitarlo, para la gran apertura de este centro majestuoso que ya está haciendo referencia, que va a ser el día 30 de enero a las 12 del mediodía en el 6200 del highway número 6 sur en Houston, Texas. Nos dice ella que ellos también están sosteniendo, ellos llevan a cabo clases en los domingos, y estas clases están abiertas para personas que hayan sido convertidos al Islam, y aquellos que no profesen la religión igualmente asisten a estas clases como orientación y para tener conocimiento, y así van familiarizándose con el Islam hasta que gradualmente, si la persona está interesado, hace su conversión a la religión. Han tenido casos de muchas personas que han aprendido lo que es el verdadero Islam, no lo que se dice por las calles, no lo que dicen los medios, no lo que reclaman, los que hacen una falsa representación, sino lo que es el verdadero Islam, que es estar completamente sometidos a la voluntad de Dios, de ese Padre Todopoderoso, del sostenedor del cielo y de la tierra y de todo lo que se encuentra entre medio de ellos. Incluso ellos tenían una pareja que ellos habían estado visitando en los domingos, y recientemente hicieron su shahada. Cuando decimos shahada, perdonen, se le da esa terminología. Shahada significa la conversión que hace la persona, donde da fe de que no existe otro Dios, que no sea el único Dios, y da fe de que Mohammed es únicamente su siervo y su mensajero, y expresa su deseo serio y fervoroso de pertenecer a la religión del Islam. Igualmente la hermana Nahila nos dice de que la pueden contactar a ella tanto al email de islaminspanish.org, que es el www.islaminspanish, así literalmente en español, .org. También la pueden contactar a ella, a Nahila, Nahela @islaminspanish.org. Ellos van a estar abiertos para el público en general en este tipo de actividades, y están haciendo una invitación general a todo el público. Ellos son una organización sin fines de lucro, es un tipo de organización 401, y entonces el objetivo último de ellos, el objetivo primario, es estar haciendo este mismo tipo de actividad en sobre unas 200 ciudades que se encuentran a través de todos los Estados Unidos, donde el índice poblacional de latinos es uno sustancial, representa ser una mayoría. El hermano Rashid le da sus halagos, y le da también su aprecio al alto esfuerzo que estos están realizando con este tipo de trabajo, y por el espectacular y precioso website también que ellos han confeccionado para estos fines. Hermana Nahila o Brother Rashid,
Also, we will signal that Imam Abdullah Daniel Hernandez from Islam in Spanish will be calling in. We will, if you would please call 407-343-6001. We will welcome that call, inshallah. And inshallah, we will continue our conversation with Nahila Morales. John, can you check the phone, please, to see maybe somebody's calling, inshallah. This is Islam for Mankind, your weekly radio program. We are honored to host Islam in Spanish, which is located in Texas. And this is Islam for Mankind. Welcome to Islam for Mankind. Who am I talking to?
Brother Rashid, Assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Ayman Hamdan.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ayman. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khairan. You know, just and to your guest and to your, mashallah, your partner with you. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah.
Mashallah, I'm hearing all of this, and and I really appreciate all the effort. My question is to the sister from Texas. Mashallah, I noticed from your show sometimes, mashallah, you bring different guests from all over the country, I guess. I want to know if these brothers and sisters or these institutions, do they come together to share their experiences together to make things, so next time they do a da'wah, they know the type of questions people ask and they can, better themselves. Is there some kind of a way they get together or they share the information instead of keep on reinventing the wheel, that they can, benefit each other? Is there something like that, or like a centralized information that people can go to?
Sister Nahila?
Well, we do have different programs that are catered to our communities. We have our signature 3-day program, and when we get invited to different massages, this is what we are able to provide. We provide the Friday Jummah, the khutbah. So the brothers are all trained. They're dawah trained, and they're all hatibs, mashallah. Most of them are graduates, and they have studied either abroad or here, places like Mishkat University. So we provide a 3-day signature that starts off with a khutbah. Then towards the evening, a class, a dawah training session is provided. And then the following day, what they have is they do a whole program that is mapped out to speak about the Andalus period in Spain, when Muslims ruled Spain for over 800 years. So a lot of Latinos that have embraced Islam are foreigners and don't know that we actually have a lot of similarities, and we share even within our Spanish language. We have over 3,000 words in the Arabic language that, are on a day-to-day basis in the Spanish language that people have no knowledge about. So it's called the Latinos Roots. So this is on Saturday, and then we end this program with an open house on Sunday. So what we invite the community or whoever is organizing this is to do an open house and invite all your neighbors, because most of the time we don't know our neighbors. So this is like a perfect way to actually get to know our neighbors and extend that invitation, and for them to get firsthand from us Muslims what Islam truly represents. A lot of I come from New Jersey. I just moved here to Houston to start working with Islam in Spanish, and where the mosque I used to attend is predominantly Spanish-speaking people. So, we would go out and, do different activities so our neighbors can get to know us. I think it's very important nowadays for us to extend ourselves and make ourselves accessible more than anything, for our neighbors. So this is a 3-day signature program that we have. And so the brothers are always invited to go speak at various places and train different communities. We also speak at a local, national, and international different conventions. We were recently at the Texas Dawah Convention here, and then our New Jersey representative spoke at the Mass IGNA Convention in Chicago. Inshallah, we will be going to the national convention in May in Baltimore, the IGNA Convention. So we are accessible, and you can shoot me an email if you would like to, find out more about our services in terms of serving the different communities.
Imam, Brother Rashid.
Ayman, are you still? I hope.
Yes. And I really appreciate the sister, mashallah. May Allah bless her and all her efforts. But what I was saying is, and it's interesting, you said you moved from New Jersey, because mashallah, in Florida, mashallah, we have a lot of, mashallah, Spanish or Latino communities. And what I was saying is, mashallah, you're doing your homework, you're doing everything that you can. But what I was saying is, how is that information being shared? I mean, obviously, you're not in every state in the U.S., where a lot of Latinos are available. I would like somehow to know, like, if there's certain groups that would like to help you, even with your organization, that can, also do this in their own cities, not just Houston or Texas or Dallas or anywhere that's nearby, all over the U.S. I just don't want to think that everybody just needs to start something from his own and start from the beginning. And mashallah, I know you have a lot of knowledgeable speakers and people around you, but somehow I just need to know whether something is in place where other cities can go and do what you're doing. I mean, are you providing that, or is that something that you're, something that you're planning on doing? Because we don't want to just keep it just in Dallas or Houston. We want to make sure your da'wah, mashallah, reaches the whole U.S., inshallah.
Inshallah.
That is our goal. I mean, essentially, that is the dream, to be able to be in every single state. Obviously, it needs people with passion, dedication, and who love to do this work for the sake of Allah. Because we are a Spanish-speaking organization, obviously that's one of the key factors, that you either have to be bilingual or speak Spanish. So we're always training people. We're always trying to encourage people. Actually, in Dallas, a lot of our core group, our rep there in Dallas, he's Mexican revert, but a lot of the volunteers that come with him, they don't even speak Spanish, but they're there because they want to help with the dawah, hand out brochures, pamphlets, or what have you. So, I mean, that's really what we would love to do in the future. That's one of our goals, to have a chapter in each city. But until then, I mean, we're ongoing training brothers who are willing to do this work. Not everybody's able to, but if you know of any brother that speaks Spanish and you think he can do the work, send him my way, inshallah. And we definitely have training sessions. We actually get trained on a bi-weekly basis as a core group. So we don't even meet in person, because a lot of our reps are even out of state. So we do a Google Hangout, training session where we actually discuss, dialogue, and train our core group. So if you know of any passionate brother that wants to get into this work, so you're right, the wheel shouldn't get reinvented, since we have been doing this for over 14 years, inshallah. And get back to me, and inshallah, we would be more than happy to help out in whatever way we can, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan. We're gonna go to the next speaker. While we're waiting for the speaker, sister, Imam Hernandez, inshallah, is he joining us, inshallah, soon? Sister?
It's down their line right now. So.
Inshallah. Okay, we're gonna go to translation, and then if we have another caller, we can go ahead, inshallah. And sister, stay with us online, and also the Imam is welcome to join as well.
Sí, aparte de la hermana Naima Morales, tenemos también con nosotros al Imam Hamdan. Nos está hablando que le aprecia muchísimo y le encantó la idea y este concepto de Islam in Spanish, que nos está hablando la hermana Ayman, okay? Brother Ayman. Oh, he's not an Imam?
It's the line right now.
Okay, y nos dice entonces que...
Yeah, we are signal that we have another caller. Assalamu alaikum, this is Islam for Mankind.
I got disconnected somehow.
Alhamdulillah. Please stay with us online. I'm sorry about any technical difficulties beyond our reach. And also, you said that there is another Imam that he's gonna call. Please have him call, inshallah, as well. You can both stay in line. We can host both of you at the same time, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. And
okay, nos dice el hermano.
We're gonna go out for the translation, inshallah.
Bueno, que él estaba diciendo de que aprecia los comentarios que está haciendo la hermana Nahila sobre esta iniciativa de Islam in Spanish en la ciudad de Houston, en el estado de Texas. Él le hace una pregunta de que si estas instituciones se unen unas con otras, y al unirse a estas instituciones también que si ellos comparten la información y se benefician cada uno de ellos de este tipo de esfuerzo. Que si tienen diferentes programas donde el servicio, ella le dice de que ellos cuentan con diferentes programas donde se le da un servicio que trata de rendirle la mayor cantidad de servicio con efectividad al área, extenderse lo más posible. Ellos proveen también clases que son los Dawa Training Sessions, las sesiones de entrenamiento de Dawa que las dan también semanalmente. Ellos también dan unas presentaciones de que hablan cómo era la influencia islámica dentro del mundo andaluz en España. También le dice de que las personas que no conocen que existen sobre cerca de 3.000 palabras del idioma árabe que están inculcadas y acuñadas dentro del idioma español, y esto se utiliza también, ellos lo hacen también en las presentaciones que tienen en los domingos, donde ellos también invitan para que las personas hagan, o ellos también hacen un open house, una invitación a todas las personas, a todos sus vecinos, para llegarse a conocer y para que tengan información de primera mano de lo que verdaderamente, lo que es real y verdaderamente el Islam. También ella recientemente se mudó desde la ciudad de Nueva Jersey, y esto es una mezquita donde ellos están, que es predominantemente en español, de donde ella proviene también. Está hablando también de que esto es un programa de 3 días, donde recientemente ellos celebraron el Texas Dawa, y también van a estar asistiendo a la convención de Dawa en Baltimore. El hermano Eichmann le dice que si en Florida tenemos mucha cantidad de latinos, como esta información se está promoviendo, se está trayendo o se está auspiciando para que llegue acá a ese tipo de recursos, y también a otras ciudades que no quiere que vayan a reinventar nuevamente la rueda. Y ella le dice que ya llevan 14 años en este tipo de iniciativa, y que lo que necesitan es personas que tengan mucha pasión, mucha energía, que estén interesados en participar y en proveer ayuda a sus esfuerzos, que ellos tratan de entrenar y de motivar a las personas, y algunas personas inclusive no hablan el idioma español, pero ellos asisten de modo de darle ayuda al grupo. Le dan entrenamiento cada 2 semanas, y si usted conoce a cualquier persona que esté interesada, se pueden comunicar con ellos también. Hermana, no tengo el teléfono suyo allá en Houston. ¿Sí se Nahila?
Sí.
¿El teléfono en Houston?
Sí, nos puede... esperen, porque no me lo he memorizado.
Okay. Just going to give us her phone number. She hasn't memorized it, so she's looking for it.
That's fine, inshallah. Sister Nahila, can you tell us about your personal experience? How did you discover Islam? Just I know you mentioned it briefly in the beginning, but you didn't expand on it. If you would please, and if you have the Imam that you suggested, by all means, he can call right now or another time as you prefer. So if you would please tell us a little bit, how did you discover Islam, and did he answer your questions, and did he fulfill your quest in search for the truth, inshallah? Jazakumullah khair.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Well, my journey to Islam is pretty lengthy, but I'll try to summarize it. I grew up, I'm Mexican, and I was born in Mexico City, but raised in California. I came in, around the age of 4 years old to California. After some incidents in my life, in my youth, I decided to move to New York. Sorry. So I lived in New York, moved there about 3 months prior to 9/11. And, I had never been really exposed to Islam or Muslims until that day when my birthday is 9/12, and that morning I was supposed to go into the city because I lived in the suburbs of New York. And so I was supposed to go into the city, but I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I fell asleep with the TV on. And when I woke up, the first tower had been hit. And so all I kept hearing was Allahu Akbar, and that it was Muslims and that we were under attack. So being raised in this country, I went to school here, and I consider this my country as well. I was very angry. I didn't understand who Muslims were, why were they here, and why were they hurting us. So I became very irate, and I didn't know who to go to or how to ask or how to even encounter a Muslim. So what I did in the coming weeks, because the talk of 9/11, up until today is fresh to many people, and living in the city and commuting to the city, it was almost as an everyday reminder. So I took it upon myself to go purchase a Quran, and what I found was, mercy, beautiful words. I found all the contrary that these people who call themselves, or who call themselves Muslims, but are not practicing what our glorious Quran teaches us. And that was my introduction to Islam. It didn't really click on right away, because there are norms such as the headscarf and many other things that take time for you to actually also embrace. But that was the brief introduction to Islam. And so I started attending classes, and I visited a mosque. And the more I understood, I grew up as a Catholic, but I never really understood the Trinity. It didn't make any sense. I never found it in the Bible. So a lot of these things did not click with me, and did not fulfill that void that I was feeling and had always felt. I was always looking for God. So when Islam came to me, it's as if my prayers were answered with Islam. And so it wasn't until after the birth of my only child that I finally made the decision, not only for myself, but for my child, to give him a better future, a structured future, and an understanding of what his purpose in life is, that I decided to accept Islam as my way of life. And I can only tell you that wonderful things have happened onwards since then. And so it's been a few years now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with being involved with Muslims, not only in my employment, but I have had a wonderful community. The sisterhood is amazing. So I found the family that I was longing for in Islam. And so my son now, who is 10, he's memorizing the Quran. He reads Arabic. So I'm actually living a lot of things that I wasn't blessed with growing up as a Muslim. I'm passing it on to my son. And so we have been very fortunate to visit Egypt, and we studied at Al-Azhar this past summer. I have traveled the world with him giving dawah. So he's a little da'i himself, mashallah, and it's been wonderful. Last year we were at the World Cup giving dawah.
Mashallah, that's great. My wife, she's American. She converted, inshallah, and she loved Mexican food. And she always tell me, why can't we have halal Mexican food? So if you have the word, we we would love to have some halal Mexican food. Why not? Inshallah.
I have a question for
I
you.
will invite you during Ramadan for an iftar for halal Mexican food.
My wife, she always speak about it. That's for sure. She love Mexican food, but she told me, why can't the Mexican that converted, start a chain or a restaurant, things like that. It's just a side note. Brother Yusuf, or
I have just a question. I just wanted to
ask. Go ahead, inshallah.
Just in a couple sentences, inshallah, what advice do you have for the not yet Muslim sisters that are looking?
I think it's essential. It's very important to educate yourself. I know, coming from the family structure that I come from, I was always encouraged to seek the truth and to seek knowledge and to, educate myself. So coming from a Latino background, I know we're encouraged to seek, for the truth and knowledge. So I would encourage anyone out there listening that if you have any, even if it's a grasp of curiosity, a little spark, because that's how this all began. It was from anger to really understanding to educating myself. A lot of what the media portrays is obviously 99.9% is not true in terms of what the religion stands for. And so I remember when I opened the Quran and I learned that the Quran says that if you kill one human being, is as if you kill the entire human race. I understood that on 9/11, Islam was also hijacked. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with the religion that I was, that I was introduced to by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So I encourage any sister that is listening to educate yourself, pick up a book, read the Quran. I mean, read the Quran. Nowadays, it's scary. The internet not always tells you everything the way it is, but the Quran is the word of God, and its transparency is there. So I would encourage sisters to read the Quran, and also don't be afraid. One of the things that held me back the most was the headscarf, the hijab. I thought I wasn't going to be able to implement, or I would never wear such a thing because we're raised a certain way here in the U.S., and covering the head is not one of them. So don't feel that this is an obstacle to learn what your purpose in life is. I think the most important thing is understanding why you're here, and then everything will fall into place. The headscarf is just part of it. It's not all of it. So I know myself, that's one of the things that took me the longest time to finally accepting Islam, was that I said I would never wear a headscarf. And I could tell you today that I cannot live without my headscarf. It's part of me. It's who I am. It's my identity. And I am very proud to say, I'm Mexican, I'm Muslim, and I'm Latina. So I think it's very important.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Also, we're sitting on that. We have 3 minutes. I would like also just for do you have any sister programs that empower our Muslim ladies for in the da'wah field as well?
Yeah, so we encourage everybody. Like I said, I've traveled the world. I've been to Sweden. I've been to Morocco. I've been everywhere giving da'wah. Believe it or not, all these countries need da'wah. There's a lot of tourists. So everybody can actually do it. And here at Islam in Spanish, we also will be having halakas, and we will be encouraging and empowering sisters to also be part of this momentum and to convey this beautiful message of Islam, inshallah.
Jazakumullahu khairan. We're going to go to the translation, and we thank you for joining Islam for Mankind, and we commend your organization, inshallah. Dr. Jesus Marti, go ahead with the translation briefly, inshallah, before the show.
Le pregunta, I'll try my best. Le pregunta el hermano Rashid cómo se convirtió ella al Islam. Ella dice que ella nació en Mexico City, la ciudad de México, y que a los 12 años se mudó a California. Luego se mudó a New York poco antes de que ocurrieran los acontecimientos del 9/11. Nunca estuvo expuesta antes al Islam y ella se suponía que fuera la ciudad en ese día. Lo único que escuchaba era simplemente cuando ocurrieron los ataques era Allahu Akbar, y no sabía por qué ese ataque y por qué los musulmanes tenían que atacarlo a la ciudad. Ella fue y compró un Corán y vio palabras de amor y de misericordia, y eso no es lo que ellos practican, esas personas que atacaron la ciudad. Luego siguió estudiándolo y fue a la mezquita. Era cristiana y no era partidaria de la Trinidad, y no lo encontraba en la Biblia. Tiene solo un niño, y Alá le ha bendecido con una comunidad y familia que ella siempre buscaba y aspiraba. Su hijo memoriza el Corán y aprende árabe. Ha viajado el mundo con su niño y fueron al World Cup a dar da'wah. Ella invita a todos a que practiquen el Islam. También invitó al hermano Rashid a comer comida mexicana halal. El hermano Yusuf le pregunta que si ella le puede dar alguna recomendación a las hermanas que están buscando convertirse, y ella le dice que estos deben educarse, crecer en la religión y motivarse para continuar conociendo más y conocer verdaderamente cuál es su motivo en la vida. En el nuevo 11, no solamente la ciudad de Nueva York fue atacada, sino también la religión islámica fue atacada. Ella nos invita a todos y dicen que no le tengan miedo al hijab, que ella le temió por mucho tiempo a esto, pero que ahora no puede vivir sin él. Muchas gracias, hermanos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
La primera 1220 ni sus auspiciadores se solidarizan con las expresiones vertidas en el siguiente programa.
Llamar al 911 cuando ocurre un accidente de auto tal vez no sea suficiente. Recuerde, después del 911, llame al 411, 1-800-411-PAIN. Usted se encuentra estresado, herido, preocupado por su auto, llame al 1-800-411-PAIN. 24 horas al día, 7 días de la semana, sábado, domingo e inclusive hasta el día de Navidad. Accidente de auto después del 911, llama al 1-800-411-PAIN. Su auto todavía está sin arreglar. La policía no ha escuchado aún su versión de los hechos. Sabemos que a las 5:01 de la tarde, la mayoría de los abogados no atienden las llamadas.